More and more of Britain's young professionals are looking to take their talents elsewhere. That's despite government plans to cut the top rate of income tax next month. And with the country's most economically active class dwindling in numbers, there are fears that policymakers aren't doing enough to avert further brain drain. Andrew Farmer examines what's driving the young and smart to greener pastures.
Jetting off in search of a new life abroad. That is what 3.5 million Britons have done over the last decade. But it isn't just pensioners seeking a retirement in the sun. Latest figures show that actually 2/3 of them are professionals aged 22 to 44. And it's feared the outflow of talent is actually hurting the nation's economy.
Clearly, a lot of these people are trained professionals who are seeking to build a life elsewhere. And I think that that's something policymakers should be very concerned about.
So what are the reasons for the exodus? Chiropractor Jean-Luc Lafitte treats dozens of high-end London clients suffering from stress every week. Britain's high rate of tax, he says, makes many consider emigrating. But that's only half the story.
The weather is a big factor in this country. That's one thing too. They want a better lifestyle, basically. I know from my point of view, and when I was younger and in South Africa, for example, at the weekend we could go, maybe water skiing, we could go out, we could have the lifestyle. And this is what they're seeing. They're seeing it in places like Florida and the States. They're seeing it in some countries in Europe that there's sort of heat. It's the lifestyle, really, that these people want.
And a quick straw poll on the street seems to confirm what he's saying. Ever consider emigrating?
Oh, definitely, yes.
Why?
Weather, climate, finances, just a nicer, better work and lifestyle. Yeah, Australia's the way to go.
Would you ever consider emigrating?
Yeah.
Why?
Just because I think there's lots of lovely countries in the world and it would be nice to experience living in one of them.
So Britain has a lot to compete with. It can't change the weather, but from next month the top rate of income tax will come down to 45p in the pound, although Nick Dubois knows his government needs to do more.
At the moment, and understandably, government and commentators are entirely focused on austerity. But we need to send a signal about the future. The 25-year-olds, the 30-year-olds are thinking long-term, not in the immediate future. And we need to try and explain to them that this country is the place to be, that you will be able to keep more of your income that you earn, and that there is the place for aspiration and for growth. It's here in Britain.
Despite the outflow of talent, net migration into the UK is still around 200,000 people a year. And independent think tank Migration Watch UK claims that acts as a counterbalance, although exactly how much is also being debated.
The reality is, there are a number of talented people coming to the country. But there's also, as we well know, there's a large migration from issues of asylum, where they've come from very troubled and difficult backgrounds, through to economic migration, where people are just trying to improve their lives, that are not necessarily replacing the level of skill that we're using. So it's not a straight match for match.
Whatever the true picture, it is clear the UK is losing its homegrown talent, on average at a rate of 400 people per day. Flying away from Britain's economic troubles on a one-way ticket is becoming an increasingly popular option. Andrew Farmer for RT, London.